Hello, my dear friend. You are very tired today. The day was long, maybe even too long. Inside, there are many thoughts that won't let you catch your breath, many feelings you didn't have time to live through. But now everything will change. Because right now, in this very moment, I invite you to stop. Sit down. Close your eyes. And simply be with God. Imagine that you and I are sitting on an old wooden pier. The kind of pier that's warm, a little cracked, smelling of time and sun. In front of us, there is a large, calm lake. The water is like a mirror, reflecting the sky, as if it carries light, support and silence within itself. Do you feel it? There's no rush here. There's none of that noise that usually fills you up like stones in your pockets. This is a different world. A world of peace. On your left, me. On your right, God. He sits beside you not as a judge, not as someone who demands something of you. He is simply here. In this silence. Like the closest friend who understands you without any words. Do you feel him? It's like a gentle presence that doesn't press, doesn't lecture, it simply warms. You can let go of everything that pulled you down. All those thoughts, anxieties, and fears, they no longer have power over you. Because now you are here. In this place where there is no need to hurry, where all that matters is to be. To be in the moment. To be in peace. To be in rest. You took a deep breath, didn't you? You felt the air easily enter your lungs, how each cell fills with warmth and light? And the exhale, as if it carries all doubts away, in a thin stream far into the water. Everything that tormented you today, everything that seemed unbearable, begins to dissolve, to soak into the smooth surface of the lake like a drop of rain. Listen, friend. You don't have to say anything right now. You don't have to explain why you feel heavy. For God knows it. He knows every part of your heart. He knows what you yourself sometimes hesitate to admit. And all He wants from you now is for you to rest. You can just sit. Lean back. Because sometimes the best way to move forward is to stop and give yourself the right to be weak. A little. For a minute. God is not asking for your strength right now. He is giving you His. Look at the sky, how it changes. The colors of sunset, warm, deep, with no tension in them. They float in the water, as if fire and clouds meant to tell you one thing: you are not alone. Everything that was hard, you may leave here. On this pier. In this silence. God will receive everything you can no longer carry. You know this, you are not here by accident. You are not a mistake. Everything you feel matters. Everything you have lived through is precious. And you know, there is one who understands it better than anyone. Who can remove from your shoulders what no one else sees? He is near. Breathe and simply allow Him to be with you. You are safe. You are loved. You are under the protection of the one who holds the world in His hands. And now, He is holding you. Look around, my friend, everything you see is not accidental. This is not just nature. This is the language of God. This is His true art. Every color, every sound, every shade of light, they're not meant to impress. They are meant to heal. The sun slowly slides toward the horizon, gifting the sky a muted, golden light. You notice how it no longer shines brightly, no longer burns, it warms. As if saying, it's time to rest. For me and for you. We lived through this day together, now we can be in silence. The sky is painted with soft lines, warm pink tones, gentle violets, a thin golden edging around the clouds. Everything is in harmony. As if the world is falling asleep and allows you to do the same. Behind you, the forest. Its whisper does not frighten, does not break the silence, on the contrary, it blends into it. The trees breathe quietly, the wind carefully runs through their leaves like the fingers of a divine hand. They don't rustle, they sing. And in this song there is neither anxiety nor haste. Only peace. Only calm. Before you, the lake. Its surface is smooth, motionless, as if frozen in time. Only sometimes a light ripple runs across the water as a reminder that life does not stand still, but it can be this calm, this gentle, this kind when you are close to God. You look into the water and you see the reflection of the sky, the clouds, yourself. But there is also something else. There's something you cannot see with your eyes, only with your heart. It is the reflection of the world as God sees it. Not distorted, not full of pain, but beautiful, eternal, deep. You can smell grass, water, and distant earth. It's familiar. It tells stories about summer, about spring, about you. It doesn't rush. It stays near, like this evening, as if waiting for you to understand. This is not just rest. This is a meeting. Even the air is different here. It is dense yet soft. It seems to contain light. You breathe and as if absorb this world, beautiful, warm, unhurried. You inhale and feel every cell fill with freshness. You exhale and let go of everything that bothered you. Somewhere far away, a bird sings not for long. Without fuss. As if it knows that now is a time for silence. Here, everything knows that now is a moment for rest. It becomes clear, this atmosphere is not accidental. It was created for you. As if God knew that you needed exactly this place. Exactly this light. Exactly this sound of water. Because here you can be not strong. Not collected. Not perfect. In this space, nothing is out of place. Here, no one demands that you measure up. You can be real. And in this realness, you are loved. You are accepted. You sit on the pier, you look at the evening, and you begin to believe that everything truly can be beautiful. Not because it is perfect, but because it is alive. God does not create emptiness. He fills even the sunset and the silence with meaning, with warmth, with tenderness. This atmosphere is like a deep breath of the Creator. And you are within this breath. You are in peace. You are in harmony. Just be here a little longer. You keep sitting at the edge of the pier, listening, and suddenly you realize, silence is not just the absence of sound. It is alive. It is like the breathing of the world. In it there is something you cannot hear with your ears, but you can hear with your heart. This silence does not frighten. It is not empty. It is warm, filling, real. At first it seems to you that nothing is happening. But the deeper you sink into the silence, the more clearly you understand, this is not just rest. It is a conversation, but not a verbal one. It is a conversation of the soul with God. Not with familiar words or voices, but with feelings. Penetrating, quiet, like the mist that lies upon the water. The wind dies down. The waves become almost imperceptible. Everything around seems to slow down, giving way to something immeasurably greater. You sense the presence of something more than just nature, more than tranquility. This is the presence of God. His gentle gaze upon you. His desire to be near, to be in this moment with you. You sit and understand, everything that was before fuss, anxiety, questions, disappears here. As if stepping aside. Because now you are connected to the silence that knows the answers. It does not give them aloud, it simply knows. In this silence there is no judgment. No reproach. No expectations. There is only presence. Pure, soundless. You seem to become transparent, not in the sense of emptiness, but in the sense of clarity. You are not playing a role. You don't have to be someone. Here you are, you. And you matter. You begin to notice small details, how the air slightly trembles with coolness, how the sun warms your shoulder, how your fingers feel the texture of the old wood beneath you. Everything becomes sharper. But these are not anxious sensations. This is a return to reality. The real one, not the one where you constantly run, trying to keep up with everything. At the moment when the silence completely envelopes you, for the first time in a long time, you stop being afraid of your thoughts. They don't clump into a knot. They don't shout. They become quiet, calm. And even if there is pain there, it is now soft, like a wave on the water, like the breath of clean air. You understand that God speaks to you not only through loud miracles, not only through words. Most often, through silence. Through peace. Through the ability to hear what is inside, not outside. You hear your inner voice. It was with you always, but now, when everything is quieted down, you finally hear what it says. And it does not speak of anxieties. It whispers of love, of peace, of the fact that you are not alone. That you have a place where you can be weak, where you can be real. You feel God touching your soul, not with hands, but with presence. He does not force you to speak. He simply is. And that is enough. Sometimes we try to say many words to Him, we think we need to find the right phrases. But now you understand, it is enough for Him simply to be near. And for you too. This meeting with silence becomes not emptiness, but fullness. You begin to trust yourself, God, the world. You feel your heart becoming lighter. As if an invisible burden has shifted. Not disappeared completely, but become smaller. Bearable. And you begin to believe that from now on everything will work out. That God is near not only in the noise of life, but in silence. He does not leave you when you are quiet. He is especially near when you are quiet. Stay in this silence a little longer. Let each minute soak into you, fill you, heal you. You have earned this peace. You have the right to this world. You sit at the edge of the pier and look straight ahead. The water before you is like a mirror. Not just smooth like glass, but deep, alive as if it breathes with you in the same rhythm. It doesn't hurry. It doesn't disturb. It is in peace. And it invites you to be the same. At first, you simply see a reflection, sunset in soft colors, clouds quietly drifting across the sky, lazily, not rushing anywhere. But after a moment you begin to see something more. You see yourself. Not as in an ordinary mirror. Not the outer self. The inner. You see your soul as it can be. Pure, calm, without masks. This water does not judge. It does not hide. It accepts. Exactly as God accepts you. Not for what you have done. Not for what you achieved. But simply for who you are. This is not just a lake. This is a place where not only the world around you is reflected, but also the world within you. You look deeper. The water is transparent, you can almost see how the light touches its bottom. It is quiet there, calm, and so it is quiet within you. Sometimes it is frightening to look inside yourself. It can be frightening to see not only light but also shadow there, mistakes, pain, anxieties. But now, this does not frighten. Because here, there is no judgment. Because God is near. And He looks at you not with reproach, but with love. You slowly lower your hand into the water. The coolness gently embraces your skin. But this coolness does not hurt, does not burn. It awakens. As if it washes off everything that stuck to you during the long day. The water accepts everything. Your breathing, your thoughts, even what you will not say out loud. You understand, what you held inside, what you were afraid to let out, can go. You can allow the wave to take it. And it will gently, carefully carry away everything that is heavy, away to where you will no longer need to think about it. Life is like this water. Sometimes it seethes, makes noise, ripples from storms that come from outside. But sometimes it is just as quiet and smooth. And in such moments you clearly notice, it can be clean. It can be healing. God gave water a special power. It is soft, yielding. But at the same time, strong, able to carry ships, wear down mountains, nourish the earth. And it acts on you the same way. Not at once, not sharply, but slowly. Lovingly. Washing off the traces of anxiety. Leaving only what is real. What is precious? You look again, and in the reflection you do not see a weary person, not someone who carries the weight of the whole world. You see in the reflection one who is the reflection of God's love. A soul created with purpose. A spirit that can grow tired, but never ceases to matter. You breathe, and the water breathes with you. Each inhale, connection. Each exhale, release. You understand, you can relax. You can trust. You can be weak without losing yourself. God is not waiting for your strength. He is waiting for your heart. You watch the water a little longer. It does not rush you. It will always be here, ready to receive, cleanse, reflect. And you accept its gift, the gift of peace, the gift of acceptance, the gift of gentle light. Inside, it becomes easier. Because you are not alone. Because you see yourself through God's eyes. And in His eyes, you are loved. Just as you are. You are still sitting on the shore of the lake. God is near. Around you, a silence that does not press, but embraces. And now, in this soft, almost ringing quiet, you begin to feel something important, what you previously hid from, ran from, looked away from. You are not just resting. You begin to become aware. What lived inside you unnoticed, but lived, grew, pulled you down. And for the first time, you look at it without running away. Not with pain, but with simple, honest attention. You feel how much has accumulated inside so many words you didn't say. Pain you kept silent about. Fatigue you covered with a smile. So often we drag along what has long become unnecessary. We don't let ourselves stop because we think, I just need to endure a little more. But here you are now. And maybe for the first time in a long while, you allow yourself to admit, yes, I am tired. I'm burned out. It's hard for me. And you know that's okay. You learn to listen to yourself. You learn to look inside, not with judgment, but with calm. Because God is near, and He does not turn away. He sits with you on the shore, not asking, why are you so tired? Why didn't you do more? He is simply near. And beside Him, you can be weak. You can be honest. You feel how feelings rise within you one after another. Some warm. Some cold. Some painful, as if reminding of wounds that have not yet healed. But now, you are not in a hurry to remove them. Now, you allow yourself to feel. Because only by living something, only by acknowledging it, can we be healed. It is as if you hold your soul in your hands, like a fragile vessel. And suddenly you see, there are cracks in it. Somewhere very deep. Somewhere newly appeared. But now, you do not try to hide them. You simply acknowledge, yes, that's mine. This is me. And at that moment something happens. Not immediately, not loudly, not sharply, but deeply. You understand, God has long known everything that is inside you. He does not need you to be perfect, unthinking, unfeeling. He accepts you entirely. And this heals. You sense that you no longer need to hold everything in. You don't need to be strong where you can be alive. Your soul does not have to be even, smooth, without cracks, it simply has to be real. Tears come to your eyes. But they are not from pain. They are from relief. You feel that for the first time in a long time you can be yourself, without filters, without effort. Simply breathing. Simply sitting. Simply being beside God, who understands without words. Now you see clearly, there is so much lived inside, both good and heavy. And all of it is part of your story. But you do not have to carry it further alone. You are not alone. And in this awareness peace comes. Not from above. But from within. As if a storm finally subsided. And the water, inside and out, became smooth. You can let go. Gradually. Silently. Everything that has accumulated can be laid at God's feet. You can entrust to Him what you have long been unable to carry yourself. He does not simply look at you. He carries you, if needed. And now, he simply sits nearby. And that is enough. You are still sitting on this quiet shore, in complete silence except for the gentle sounds of nature, which with each moment become more and more like a voice. Not a human one, not a material one, but the kind that speaks directly to the soul. And suddenly you understand, this nature, created by God, begins to speak with you. Not with words. Not with speech. But with a sensation, with warmth, with a knowing that immediately becomes part of your heart. The wind. It touches you a bit more, as if stroking your shoulder. It is gentle, yet confident. It seems to say, you are not alone. I am here. I am near. I breathe with you. And you understand that this is not just wind. This is the breath of the Creator, who from the very beginning never leaves you. The sun has almost set, but it continues to shine, gifting its last warm reflections directly onto your face. Not blinding, not hot, they seem to warm your soul, not your skin. As if God whispers to you, I am light. Even when it grows dark, I am still light for you. These rays demand nothing of you. They simply give. And you receive. The grasses along the shore sway slightly. Gently, almost imperceptibly. Their breathing is like a whisper, you can be free. You can be soft. Life is not always a struggle. Let this time become your rest. And you believe that you can be not only the one who fights, but also the one who rests, who accepts care, who listens. And the water in the lake tells you more than any words. It has held within itself reflected things for so long, the sky, the clouds, the trees, and now it holds your story as well. But it does not judge. It does not sort through your mistakes. It simply holds what you entrust to it and does so quietly. Like God, who keeps you even when you cannot keep yourself. You lift your head and look at the sky. It is changing. No longer golden, no longer pink, it becomes deep, blue, as if endless. And in this infinity you suddenly understand, there is one who is stronger than all your anxieties. One who is higher than all your fears. One who has not forgotten you for a single moment. And in this moment you realize, everything around you is not a coincidence. It is His creation. It is His work of art. It is His message to you, I am with you. I am always near. Even when you are silent. Even when it is hard for you. Even when you fell. I am near. And I love you. Tears come. But now, they are not tears of pain. They are tears of recognition. Tears that someone truly sees you. To the end. To the very deepest, most vulnerable places. And does not turn away. Does not leave. But remains. Like a loving father. Like a best friend. Like God. You feel that part of this nature is already inside you. That the peace of the lake is the peace of your heart. That the silence of the wind is the silence of your thoughts. That the light of the sky is the light of your soul. Nature told you this simply and quietly. Just as God speaks. Without judgment. Without conditions. Only with love. You close your eyes and whisper, thank you. Not even aloud. Simply, in your heart. And you know that somewhere in this silence, in the simplicity of the wind and the depth of the waters, God hears. And answers, always near. Always with you. Always. You are still sitting on the old pier, next to the Creator, and looking at the calm water of the lake. It is so even, so deep. And suddenly you understand, this is not just water. This is a place where you can release everything that has long kept you from breathing. Everything you carried for years. Everything that told you, you must endure. You must carry on. But you know you don't have to carry it. Not anymore. Now you can let it go. You gently lower your hand into the water. Your fingers sink into the coolness. The wave widens in light circles to the sides, as if the lake itself wants to help. As if it says, give it to me. I will take everything. I have enough depth. You breathe deeper. You remember what you were afraid for so long to admit. Those tasks you didn't do. Those words you said, but later regretted. Those mistakes that wouldn't let you sleep. Those faces you disappointed. Those moments when you weren't who you wanted to be. All this is not just memory. It is heaviness. Stones you tied to yourself when you tried to be strong, good, right. But God looks at you and you feel He does not ask you to keep holding on. He does not say, you must manage on your own. He says, you can entrust it to me. And you feel that now is the moment. You close your eyes. And quietly, almost soundlessly, you say inwardly to what is inside, I release this. Not because it isn't important. Not because I have resolved everything. But because I can no longer carry it alone. And you imagine that everything that was heavy, like small stones, or papers, or something more mist-like, gently leaves your heart. It's as if you take all of it and lower it into the water. You look and you don't see them sink. But you feel. This heaviness detaches from you. Falls. Dissolves. The water accepts it. And does not return it. No reproach. No memories that cut again. Only silence. Peace. And lightness. You begin to understand, this does not mean forgetting. It means ceasing to carry. Forgiveness sometimes means, I release what hurts me. Sometimes it is forgiving yourself. Sometimes others. Sometimes even God, who didn't give you what you wanted. But all of this now goes away. You feel the space within you becoming freer. Cleaner. Brighter. As if a door opened there and air entered. For the first time in a long time you can breathe fully. God is near. He doesn't say to you, good job. He simply looks with such love, with such depth, that you begin to believe it yourself. That yes, you have the right to let go. Yes, you deserve to feel light. Yes, you are not obliged to carry more than you can. You look at the water again. There is no longer anything there that dragged you down. Only the reflection of the sky. The clouds. The light. And within you, there is no longer a dark depth. Now only lightness, only light, only peace. You whisper to God inwardly, thank you. And you hear inside the simplest, warmest response, I've been waiting for this. You did everything right. Now, we go on. Together. When you let go of everything that pressed for so long, inside it becomes unexpectedly quiet. But this is not just silence, it is a space in which peace begins to grow. It does not enter sharply, does not fill everything at once. It comes gradually, like water gently rising to the shore, like morning light filling a room while you still sleep. For the first time, you notice how deeply you can actually breathe. Every cell seems to open, as if returning to life after a long oblivion. You feel weightless. But not from weakness, from liberation. Everything around seems to sound quieter. The forest whispers softly, the water lies still, shimmering, as if it holds something more than the reflection of the sky. And the wind, it has become almost warm. You smile without even noticing. Because you understand, you no longer clench anything unnecessary inside. You are able to live, not just survive. You are able to rest, without feeling you are wasting time. For God, who is near, has already taken your heaviness, your guilt, your fatigue. Now you can simply be. And that is enough. You look into the lake and you are reflected in it not as you are used to seeing yourself. Not worn out. Not unworthy. Not guilty. But clean. Calm. Gentle. Loved. As if the world and you yourself see you for the first time through the gaze of the one who sees always. And his gaze is not reproach, not comparison, not expectation. His gaze is love. You begin to feel it with your whole being. As if an invisible light fills your chest, not a pressing fire, but a gentle warmth spreading from within. This peace is not just the absence of chaos. It is the presence of God. It is the moment where everything falls into place. Where you don't have to prove anything, don't have to play a role, don't have to answer questions, neither external nor internal. Simply be. Simply breathe. Simply sit while the world itself becomes clearer. You are as if immersed in a soft sea of quiet. You do not drown, you rest. You do not disappear, you calm. As if everything that used to scream within you now whispers. Everything that pricked you now caresses. Everything that broke you now heals. You finally understand that peace is not weakness. It is strength. It is the ability to be in silence because you know God is near. Not somewhere far away, not in another world, but right here. Inhale and you feel Him. Exhale and you come closer to yourself. You feel this peace as clarity. As if the fog that covered you for so long has dissipated. As if the voice of God is not heard by ears, but heard by the heart. And He does not say complicated things. He says, I am here. Everything is okay. Just rest. You look around, and everything is the same. The lake, the sky, the sunset, but already different. As if the Lord created this evening only for you. Perhaps that is how it is. Perhaps every evening, every silence is created specifically so that you would remember you are not alone. So that you would relax. So that you would return home. Into yourself. Into God. Into peace. You remain in this state without trying to hold on to it. Without trying to preserve it, because it will not disappear. It is now a part of you. This peace is not a place you go to, but a state you live in. And now you know, you can return here. Into yourself. Into the love of the Creator. Into the peace that does not depend on circumstances. For God is the source. And He is in you. Always. You sit by the lake. Everything around is motionless, not from stoppage, but from deep peace. And at some point you begin to feel that all this is not just the outer world, not just scenery. Everything around you, nature, light, water, silence, begins to merge not just with your feelings, but with you yourself. As if there is no longer any division between you and the world. Between you and God. Between you and peace. You keep sitting the same way, without moving, without saying a word. But inside, something very important is happening. Something that cannot be explained in words. You feel that you are not observing silence, you have become part of the silence. You are not looking at the light, it shines through you. You are not just resting, you are peace. This state does not arrive as a thought. It enters as truth. It permeates you, like a vessel that has long stood empty is filled with water. You feel it in your body, it is no longer clenched, no longer holding back anything unnecessary. You feel it in your heart, it no longer flutters, no longer worries, no longer searches. It simply beats in the rhythm of the world. And this is a wondrous feeling. As if you have returned at last home. To where you have always been awaited. Where you were not rushed. Where you were not compared. Where you were endlessly loved. Simply because you are you. Silence no longer frightens. It has become as yours as the air. You no longer try to fill it with words or thoughts, you simply breathe within it. And with every breath you feel, this is not emptiness. This is the presence of God. His Spirit is diffused in the air. His care is in every ripple on the lake. His love is in the sunlight that is already beginning to turn into stars. You lift your eyes, and the sky grows darker. The first stars appear. They shine quietly yet confidently. They remind you that even when everything around grows dark, light always exists. In the sky. In God. In you. And suddenly you understand, you are part of this light. You are not just an observer. You are a participant. You are a reflection of the one who created this evening. And in this thought there is no pride, Only warmth. Calm. Confidence. A deep, serene assurance that everything is in its place. Just as you are. That you are not an accident. That you are not a mistake. That you are like a warm part of the melody the whole world is singing. This connection with silence and light becomes your new normal. You do not cling to it, you simply are in it. You do not even try to describe what you feel, because you understand, the most important thing is not what can be said. It is what can be lived. And you are living it. Deeply. Quietly. Truly. You look at the lake and you see how the water no longer reflects only what is outside. It also shows what is inside you. Light. Love. Peace. And this is the real you. Not worn out. Not bewildered. But free. Alive. United with God, like a river with the ocean. Like light with its source. You understand, in this moment there is no need to speak. No need to pray, to ask, to explain. God is near. And you are near. And that is all that is needed. You are in unity. Where there is no time. No distance. Only pure being. You finally feel that you are not part of chaos. You are part of light. You are not a stranger in this world. You are a part of it. Like a star is part of the night sky, like a wave is part of the sea. Like a child is part of the heart of the Creator. You are still sitting on the shore of the lake. Within, silence. Around an evening light that has already given way to a soft, velvety night. But not a night where it's scary, not a night where it's dark, but one where the soul finally stops hurrying. Where the world falls asleep so that you awaken. It is as if for the first time in a long while you begin to open your eyes, not the outer ones, but the inner ones. You see what you have long known but could not feel. That life is not a race, not a constant struggle. That you are not just a body, not just thoughts, and not even just feelings. You are a soul. And now it is awakening. You feel there is no longer that noise inside you that you had grown used to. In order to hear, you no longer need to strain. You don't need to seek answers somewhere outside. Everything has become simple. Clean. Clear. You are in peace. And the world is in you. God has not left. He was near this whole time. And now, as if returning to you from the water, from the sky, from silence itself, His love fully enters your soul. You feel it not as words, not as a concept but as warmth, as a quiet truth, as a presence that simply is. You understand that all those moments when you felt lost, forgotten, unnecessary, were not the end. They were the beginning of the path to this place. To this peace. To this light that is not outside, but within you. And this light is not your own. It is the reflection of God in you. You breathe deeply. And for the first time, freely. Without feeling the weight, without hiding what is real, without running from your feelings. You feel that the soul is returning home. Home, not in time and space, but in a state. A state of trust. Acceptance. Love. And now you quietly rise. From the pier. Almost soundlessly. Your feet softly touch the ground, and you feel how this earth supports you. Not only physically, but spiritually. It is part of God. And you are an inseparable part of His creation. You look into the sky. Now, it is already dark. The stars shine brighter and brighter. Some barely noticeable. Others large and confident. And suddenly you understand, you are like one of these stars. You shine not to prove to everyone how bright you are, but simply because there is light in you. Because you were created to reflect Him. You close your eyes, and in the quiet you say softly, almost inaudibly, "Thank you." Not aloud, and not to someone specific, but simply from the depths. From this new, awakened part of yourself. And in response, you hear not a voice, but a warm clarity, "I was." I am. I will be with you. You are not alone. And you never will be. You smile. Not because everything has become perfect, but because now you are not walking this path alone. Now you have light. Now you have peace. Now you know where to return when it becomes hard again. You will take a step. You will return to your world, to your days, to your life. But already different. Already filled. Already with a soul that has awakened. And you will carry with you not just the memory of this lake, not just the memory of silence. You will carry this peace within, this light inside yourself. God near. Now you live not to earn love. You live from the love that already is. And this is new life. Pure. Free. Real.